6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Lal Mallavarachi and read by J. Yogaraj. First, the headlines. The President will kick off the program to hand over land deeds to 100,000 Mahaveli settlers tomorrow. The Foreign Ministry issues advisory to Sri Lankans living in Ukraine. Minister Uday Gammanpilla says there are enough stocks of petrol for 10 days and diesel for 8 days in the country. Interruptions to the electricity supply of about 5 hours will be imposed in some areas today. Another 1,208 persons have tested positive for COVID-19 yesterday. The government has planned to construct 50,000 houses by 2024 in urban areas. News overseas, Ukraine warns of a new Iron Curtain as Russia invades. In sports, India kicked off the 3-match T20 series against Sri Lanka with 62-run win in the series opener. And those are the headlines. The President Gotabaya Rajapaksa will kick off the program to hand over land deeds to 100,000 Mahaveli settlers in 10 Mahaveli zones tomorrow. This program has been implemented under the vision of prosperity. At the opening ceremony to be held in Ambilipitia tomorrow, 10,000 land deeds will be given to Mahaveli farmer families in the area. Both the President and the Prime Minister will grace the occasion as chief guests. Under the President's national program, 1 million land deeds will be offered farmers island-wide within this year. In view of escalation of the situation in Ukraine, the Foreign Ministry has instructed the Sri Lankan Embassy in Ankara to take appropriate measures to coordinate the safe passage of the remaining Sri Lankan nationals in Ukraine. Accordingly, Sri Lankan nationals in Ukraine are advised to contact the 24/7 hotline established at the Sri Lankan Embassy in Ankara via mobile +90 534 456 9498. I repeat, +90 534 456 9498. Landline +90 312 427 1032. I repeat, landline +90 312 427 1032. Email slemb.ankara@mfa.gov.lk. I repeat, email address is slemb.ankara@mfa.gov.lk. This news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Minister Uday Gammanpilla says that there are enough stocks of petrol for 10 days and diesel for 8 days in the country. The minister said steps would be taken to purchase additional stocks. Minister Gammanpilla mentioned this as a reply to an accusation of opposition leader Sajith Premadasa, who said there is an energy crisis in the country. The Health Ministry says that another 1,208 persons have tested positive for COVID-19 yesterday, as the daily count of new cases continues to rise in the country. This brings the tally of COVID-19 cases registered in the country thus far to 641,786. According to official figures, 607,912 positive cases have been recovered. Following the new development, the number of virus-infected people who are undergoing treatment moved to 17,758. Meanwhile, the death toll stands at 16,116. The Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka, PUCSL, has approved the request made by the Ceylon Electricity Board for rotational load shedding today. PUCSL Chairman Shanaka Ratnayaka stated that interruptions to the electricity supply of 4 hours and 40 minutes will be imposed in the areas mentioned under Groups A, B and C in the power interruption schedule. In the meantime, power cuts of 5 hours and 15 minutes will be imposed in the other areas. As per the schedule, power cuts of 4 hours and 40 minutes are imposed between 8:30 a.m. and 10:30 p.m. in groups A, B and C. It is divided into 2 slots as 2 hours and 40 minutes in the morning hours and 2 hours in the night. Remains of veteran journalist and author Sunil Madhava Prematilaka will be kept at his house at Pipe Road, Koswatha from today. The funeral will take place at Talahena Cemetery at 5 p.m. tomorrow. Prematilaka began his career as a journalist from the Associated Newspapers of Ceylon Limited, following the footsteps of his father, Meeman Prematilaka, who was one time the chief editor of Silamina newspaper. An old boy of Ananda College, Colombo, Prematilaka has mentored hundreds of budding journalists. And that's local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has instructed officials of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development to work according to the national plan when implementing development projects island-wide. The Prime Minister emphasized this while taking part in the progress review meeting of Urban Revival Program, Colombo Urban Revival Program and other related projects recently. The government has planned to construct 50,000 houses by 2024 for housing schemes with insufficient facilities in urban areas. And that was top news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
This is Watchlight.
Over 9 lakh people in the country have not got a single dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, raising concerns among the health authorities. The Health Ministry, Dr. Samita Ginige, said that 17.6 million people above 12 years of age were eligible to get the vaccine. However, the total number of administered with the first dose stood at 16.7 million as of yesterday. 95.5% has reached the first dose, while 79.8% has been offered with the second dose, he said. And that was Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
World News headlines. Ukraine warns of a new Iron Curtain as Russia invades. Ukraine-Russia invasion, Europe prepares for wave of refugees. A fossil of the largest Jurassic pterosaur found on Sky. And those are the headlines of World News. Ukraine's leader, he said, a new Iron Curtain is falling and closing Russia off from the civilized world after it invaded its neighbor. President Volodymyr Zelensky said, Ukraine's task was for that curtain not to fall on its territory. He made the remarks as Russian forces attacked on several fronts, launching missile strikes and advancing towards the capital, Kyiv. Ukraine's neighbors are preparing for an influx of refugees fleeing Russia's invasion of the country. As Russian air strikes hit overnight, many packed up and left Kyiv for the countryside or the border with the European Union. Traffic jams clogged the roads out of some cities, and some walked on foot into Poland and Hungary. The world's largest Jurassic pterosaur, a 170 million year old vintage reptile, has been found from the rocks of High Hill of Skye. PhD student Amela spotted its sharp-toothed jaw in a layer of ancient limestone on Skye's coast. And that was World News.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take coal out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
State Minister D.B. Herath says the first of the 6 milk processing factories will be established in the north. 6 milk processing factories will be set up in the country with the assistance from France, in line with the livestock development drive of the government. The State Minister was speaking at an awareness program conducted under the Kiri Sangrama SLBC Dekka Milk Production Development Program of the government. And that was development news.
Development news was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928. Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
India kicked off the 3-match T20 series against Sri Lanka with an easy 62-run win in the series opener in Lucknow yesterday. Ishan Kishan, 89 of 56 deliveries, and Shreyas Iyer, unbeaten on 57 of 28 deliveries, were the architects behind India's big win as the pair helped India to post 199 for 2 in 20 overs. In response, Sri Lanka could muster 136 for 6 in 20 overs. The second T20 will be played tomorrow at Dharmashala, Himachal Pradesh. And that was sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Over 20 local pharma manufacturing companies have positively responded, and 3 already signed up to commence manufacturing medical and medical equipment at the new pharma zone in Oyamaduwa, Anuradhapura. The total investment committed by them is over 20 billion rupees, and that was business news.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
In economic news, Sri Lanka's services exports were estimated to have reached $313.22 million, the island's export promotion office said. The exports were up 42.2% from January 2021, and the Sri Lanka Export Development Board said, making last January's service exports about $220 million. The services exports estimated by EDB is made up of ICT, construction, financial services, transport and logistics. And that was economic news.
The weather report.
The Met Department says several spells of showers will occur in north central, eastern and Uva provinces and in Hambantota district. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in western, Sabaragamu and central provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts during the evening or night. Fairly heavy showers, above 50 millimeters, can be expected at some places. And that was Weather Report. And to wind up the news broadcast, let's look at the main points once again. The President will kick off the program to hand over land deeds to 100,000 Mahaveli settlers tomorrow. The Foreign Ministry receives advisory to Sri Lankans living in Ukraine. Minister Uday Gammanpilla says there are enough stocks of petrol for 10 days and diesel for 8 days in the country. Interruptions to the electricity supply of about 5 hours will be imposed in some areas today. Another 1,208 persons have tested positive for COVID-19 yesterday. The government has planned to construct 50,000 houses by 2024 in urban areas. And with that, we conclude this morning news broadcast.